reduce, reuse, recycle. So you use less of it if you can, if you choose to. You be a little frugal. Um, you reuse the thing for a different purpose. Try to get more out of it, more use out of it. Maybe you buy use, and you recycle. So you you take your glass or your plastic and you try to make another use out of it, grind it up, try to get it melted down, turned into another product. And these are partial and all this kind of stuff. So it's not perfect. Um, but there's more than that. There's repair. There's a lot of products that could be repaired, but are designed with planned obsolescence or are hard to repair. So I tinkered with a dryer the other day, and it, just the way that it was designed makes it incredibly difficult to access one single screw in the back of the damn thing. You need a long handle screwdriver, and it's got to have a magnetic tip. And why was it built like that? It was pretty arbitrary. They put stuff in the way on purpose to make it hard to actually work with. You got to move the entire thing. You got to get a flashlight all the way back there, fiddle with it. It's just no good, designed wrong. And these are examples of an antagonism between a marketplace and the long-term sustainability of a product. And this relates to something like leather belts. Let's call it what would be a good product? A jacket. Let's say a good bomber jacket of some sort. So we're talking about cool, maybe slightly cold weather jacket. And if you're in the reduce, reuse, recycle camp, you think of things a little bit differently than somebody who's just vegan. Somebody who's just vegan says it can't be leather, period. It can't be certain animal products. And that would remove leather. However, it turns out that leather is an extremely long wearing, efficient material to use for well everywhere. That's why we use it. And so if I were to make a really nice leather jacket out of it, that leather jacket could last. There are leather jackets that are out there that were actually in service, worn by Air Force in World War II, and they're still in service now. They're still, I mean, not by actual servicemen, but they were given to their kids or whatever, and they're still a daily wearer for people because they were it was made right. And if as a vegan I were to choose against or select against leather, and I would choose some other material, that other material might not last 10 years. And so I'd end up buying another one in 10 years and then another one, as opposed to one thing that would last 45 years. And there's an entire movement around a more complete way of looking at human impact on things, but it's also a convenience and a cost thing called Buy It for Life, BIFL. There's a little community on Reddit, and this is a concept that's out there elsewhere, um, where instead of thinking of the because veganism isn't about human impact on the world, it's about things with pretty brown eyes and not harming, torturing them kind of thing. This philosophy. So it is different, and that's part of why I don't why I'm not a vegan is I would rather think of the world a little bit more complete. So a vegan would make choices that would avoid things that are buy it for life, which means that they're making choices that are actually impacting the world negatively in other ways. So they might choose to eat more rice, and they might choose to have more cotton goods, both of which waste a hell of a lot of water. And the cotton goods are going to wear out a lot faster. You could have a conversation with these people, and they'd almost certainly agree with things like, "Well, we should be switching to hemp," and etc. Like these are not they're not restricted to these non-meat things. And I like the buy it for life philosophy. I like opening up these ideas so that you can look in terms of when you purchase a product or a service, even think in terms of longevity. And as soon as you start thinking in terms of reduce, reuse, recycle, repair, buy for life type these philosophies, you're thinking in terms of extending the your use for that particular task, for that product, for as long as possible, making your impact on the world smaller and smaller, at least for that one thing. And if you do that for more and more things, then theoretically speaking, human impact in general would on the world, if that's something anybody really cares about, it will be lower. Technically speaking, I mean, technically, philosophically, um, because humans have intellectual frugality, which I talked about earlier, they're not going to be aware or interested in veganism or the repairing community or buy it for life. They're just not. That's not their thing. Maybe they haven't been aware, haven't been made aware. Maybe they only peripherally care. Maybe it's a convenience thing. It's like you shouldn't be buying junk food. You should be making your own food at home. But it's just a lot of people know you can do that. They still don't do it. They might be made aware that it's possible to have some things repaired and just not care. Like um, in a free market, the earth could be completely destroyed piece by piece, but the free market will adapt as soon as as soon as customers say, "Well, I want this instead," the entire market changes. It's totally agnostic to the idea, and as soon as there's resource constraints, the market automatically adapts. There's no need for like an authoritarian government demanding certain changes. Doesn't matter. The the problem is intellectual frugality will have the entirety of the earth consumed to be a ruinous wreck of garbage, and then humans will adapt to living in that wreck of garbage, and all of the earth will be like that. And I don't know, or the nastiest places that have huge open dumps that humans sift through for parts to sell and stuff like that.